This is the Astros Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Houston Astros, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
If there's one thing that has been consistent for the Houston Astros so far this season, it is that they are wildly inconsistent, and they lose again tonight to the Los Angeles Angels a night after being awesome at the plate. They revert back to being ice cold at the plate, and here we are talking about what looks like a typical Astros night for the most part, where there's not a lot of offense, not a lot of things to be all that excited about, and a loss to boot with that here in Game 2 of the 3-game weekend series against those Angels. Hi, and welcome. Sorry for the little bit of a delay here to start the show, but appreciate you guys waiting it out that are watching live. This is the Locked On Astros Postcast. We're live after the games, typically right when the game ends. This one a few minutes later. I was just finishing up a couple things here in the house before I was able to sit down and get into the show, so I appreciate, again, your patience for that. Of course, you can join us, like I mentioned, after every single game. We'll be live again tomorrow afternoon when the Astros and Angels wrap up this series, and hopefully it'll be a series win for the Astros, because I don't want to go through a day like today again. And look, it was overall a very boring baseball game, right? I think the most frustrating part of this game today is actually, this is what you're going to be talking about.
This is what you'll be talking about.
We talked about this some last night. The Astros are poorly constructed when it comes to their hitters. And I'm not talking about the talent they have here. I'm not talking about keeping Alex Bregman or keeping Kyle Tucker or anything like that, like they didn't do in the offseason. I'm talking about poorly constructed from the standpoint of balance. And we know that. They have one left-handed hitter on their big league roster, and his name is Jordan Alvarez. Tonight they faced a lefty for the first time. Now, Tyler Anderson, you can go look at his numbers. I think he's a reverse splits guy. It's not a huge difference, righties, lefties against him. I mean, the only lefty that the guy in the Astros lineup that's done the most damage against him over the years has been Jordan. But it's a disappointing night to have that result against Tyler Anderson, for one, because the Astros have seen him a lot. And two, he's left-handed. And the Astros have a ton of right-handed hitters. And you just kind of expected, at least I did, that, hey, they're going to go out there and they're probably going to put up some runs again tonight. 2 nights in a row. I mean, look, they got through the order how many times? They got through, he was perfect through the first 3, right? And he got into the 5th there before the Jordan double off the wall down the left field line. He was tremendous. Part of you goes and says, hey, tip your cap to the guy. You know, he did his thing. The other part of you goes, I mean, maybe take a pitch or two. That was, I think, the thing that, throughout the entire baseball game, and I felt like they did. They made a lot in the offseason about getting guys that are going to work counts more and make pitchers work more. And I feel like they had a lot of aggression in this one tonight. And that's not always the worst thing, like when you get your pitch. And Anderson was, out of the game after 6 innings? Shutout ball. Or 5 2/3, excuse me. He didn't get the final out of the 6th. They ran his pitch count up enough. What is he at? He was at 95. I mean, you just go to their bullpen behind him. Johnson came in behind him. He threw 4 pitches. Burke was the inning after that. He threw 10 in his inning of work. Zephrahan, I'm sorry to him, he threw 11. And then Kenley Jansen threw 17. And just after that, they just didn't work it enough, it felt like. I mean, the only hit that they had was the home run for Isaac Paredes once they got to that bullpen. And Tyler Anderson ended up walking 4 guys in the game tonight. That's really why his pitch count got up. Other than that, I mean, they had a lot of quick outs in this one and reverted again back to a lot of bad habits. And I'm not going to completely be a captain freak out about anything like I typically like to do. I like to, try and keep it as as steady as I can be. But it annoys me. Like, I know it annoys you guys to watch them play great baseball one night, then come back and be a completely different team the next night. And I don't know what it is. There's just something deep down in my gut that tells me that this is what this season's going to be. Last season wasn't that, of course, with, after they dug themselves out of that hole. But I think that's where I'm really frustrated with it to this point, is that, you're a couple weeks into the season. You also played an entire spring slate, and you're just playing mediocre baseball. That's what you're doing. You're just playing mediocre to crappy baseball. And you're not finding any level of consistency to any of it. And it's just, it gets on my nerves. And I know that it gets on everybody else's nerves. Just go on a little bit of a run. Win 2 games in a row. I mean, they hadn't even pulled that off now. They had a chance to get back to 500 tonight. Nope. They're going to go to 6. They go to 6-8. 14 games into the season. And they have not won 2 games in a row. And they've won series so far this year. That's the funniest thing about it, is that they've won some series. And yet here they are without winning 2 games in a row. Annoying. The other thing that you're going to be talking about, or at least people are talking about on social media quite a bit, and thank goodness it didn't factor into anything tonight. God, I hope you guys can't hear my dogs going absolutely nuts back there. Sorry if you can. The fan on the foul ball down the right field line. I mean, what? Bang, bang play or whatever there. I guess standing up for the Astros there, but yanking it out of Mike Trout's glove. I mean, that was incredible what he did. I think he got himself booted from the game. I did see the video after the game. Mike Trout, good on Mike Trout. Mike Trout seems like an actually, cool dude. Mike Trout had the guy and his kid down there outside the Angels clubhouse signing the baseball that the guy took from him, giving the kid bats and stuff, signing stuff. He didn't have to do all that, but that was really cool. Thank goodness, again, that wasn't something that affected the game in any means. The next pitch, I think, was it Yanner Diaz that did that hit that ball, and it was a quick out. But I just thought it was funny. I'm like, I get when we're in those situations where a fan gets involved in something. Like, if it's in the stands, the fan has fair game at it. As long as the fan's not reaching into the field of play, it's the fan's right. Rules state it to go ahead and make the play on that baseball. And I get it from my standpoint. Like, if you're sitting there, you can't not go after a ball that's coming at you. You'd be stupid to let it just hit you. And it's an instant reaction type of thing. I don't think I would ever be the guy that, has the opponent right in front of me, and just says, "That's mine." Yanks it right out. I mean, that was one heck of a play by Mike Trout too. That's the unfortunate thing for him. He's going to be on the highlight reel. He'll be on the highlight reel still, but he was going to be on the highlight reel for an unbelievable play. Doesn't get the opportunity to get it, thanks to that guy just deciding he needed to yank the baseball right out of Mike Trout's glove. Sure would have been nice to, have Yanner Diaz hit a home run right after that, and the Astros really get a winning moment in that part, because, that had just been like, all right, luck is on your side tonight. Let's talk a little bit about the starting pitching tonight, what the Astros do with this spot in the rotation moving forward. And let's look ahead to tomorrow's game and give out a player of the game. Really hard to do tonight here on the Locked On Astros Postcast. Get the supplies you need from the site for the skilled trades, supplyhouse.com. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need, delivered fast, coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. Astros go down to the Los Angeles Angels tonight in pretty boring fashion. Less than 3 hours. If you're going to lose, I will always tell you, go ahead and lose in less than 3. That way we all can get on with our day. The pitch clock has been a brilliant thing for a couple of years now. I don't mind it at all when win or lose. As long as it's as long as it's a quick one, I'm fine. I don't need to be there for 3.5 hours. Give me 2:35 to 2:45, and let's cook, baby. The Astros, though, were not cooking at the plate tonight. They lose 4-1. Ryan Gusto made the start tonight, his first big league start. Obviously didn't settle in quickly. First 3 batters of the game reach. Astros down 2-0 after the first 3, but credit to him. Settled down pretty well overall after that. Only gave it 1 more run. 4 innings, 3 runs. He gets the loss tonight, but did strike out 6. They get to stretch him back out a little bit, and he's going to keep getting starts. The Arrighetti thing, what a freak accident. Just so silly. And just a reminder that baseball, dumb stuff happens every year, and you lose players and you lose pitching. We'll see how long Gusto's doing. If you're looking for good news in terms of help being on the way, Lance McCullers pitched for the Sugar Land-based Cowboys tonight. I think it was 4 innings. It was either no runs or 1 run. Apparently looked really good. That's a good thing. The Astros are going to need him to come back. How much is he going to be able to give them when he gets back consistently? But, getting him on the mound is a huge plus for this team, given that, it sounds like Arrighetti's, they're hoping for 6 weeks. It's a long period of time, and that's no guarantee at that point. Then you got to go out, I think, at that stage, you're going out on a rehab, obviously. But I'm guessing it's from the 6-week point that you go on the rehab. You're out for that long, you're probably going on a rehab for 2-3 starts minimum. So they're going to be without him for quite a bit. And it's an unfortunate blow. But Gusto's got his opportunity now to step up and to kind of hold on to that spot in the rotation. I don't know how to do it. Always do this one when we have a loss to talk about, but let's do it.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
When Isaac Paredes, because he provided the only run. He homers for the second consecutive night, which is a good thing. He had gone like 30-something games going back to last season when he was with the Cubs, not homering, and now 2 straight nights he has hit a home run for the Astros. Also drew a walk. So Isaac Paredes has one of the Astros' 3 hits, and his hit goes over the fence. The other hits tonight were the Jordan double and the Pena single. Hey, let me look at this. What do you want a positive on the night? 66% of the Astros hits tonight, extra base hits. They only had 3 of them. There's that. You're welcome. Positive spins only on the Locked On Astros Postcast. They're going to do this one more time tomorrow against the Angels. Rubber matches this 3-game series. Hayden Wesneski. I think I'm getting there. I think that's right. It's been a long road for me to make sure I can say his name right. Up against Kyle Hendricks for the Angels. 1:10 the first pitch, so we'll be live somewhere between 4 and 5. As soon as it ends tomorrow, we will be live. I'll be at home tomorrow, so don't worry. Nothing's going to get in the way of starting the show on time. Appreciate those of you that stuck it out and watched the show tonight. We'll talk again tomorrow after Astros and Angels on the Locked On Astros Post.